Hi, I'm Brunelle Bridge from CTX Special Risks, your most dedicated marine insurance broker for both ship owners and charterers alike in Asia. The Ever Given grounding happened more than a month ago now, causing chaos in the global shipping industry. Although the vessel has since been refloated and the backlog is cleared, this matter is by no means over. In parts 1 and 2 of my video, I have looked at the legal aspects surrounding this case and the knock-on effect it may have on some of your shipping contracts. Today, in part 3, my focus will shift to marine insurance policies and how they could respond to some of the damages you have suffered. The first marine insurance policy impacted by this grounding is the hull and machinery insurance policy. It is reported that the Ever Given is insured in the Japanese hull market for an amount in excess of $100 million. Needless to say, any damage or breakdown to the ship herself will become a claim under the hull and machinery policy. However, that's perhaps the simplest part of the claim. The more complicated issue is that of salvage expenses. $100 million buys a lot of salvage expenses before the vessel is considered a constructive total loss. But now that general average was declared on the 1st of April, the hull and machinery underwriter would not have to bear these costs by themselves. All parties with a property interest in the cargo on board the vessel will now be expected to contribute towards the salvage security required to be put in place. Let's move on to P&I insurance. What types of expenses and claims will likely be covered by your P&I insurance policy? I can think of 3. Fines, damage to other property or FFO, and cargo claims. Let's look at these in more detail. Let's start with fines. It has been reported that the Suez Canal Authority recently reduced their claim against the owners of the Ever Given from $916 million to $600 million. A detailed breakdown of what is included in this sum is not known, although it has been suggested in the media that this covers the Canal Authority's damages caused by the grounding, salvage costs, and loss of reputation. Interestingly, no specific mention is being made of fines, but to the extent that a fine is included in the $600 million, will it be covered? The international group of IG clubs have recently tightened their rule wording on fines. This means fines are no longer automatically covered in certain circumstances. The cover for fines is now discretionary, and therefore the club board, which is made up of ship owners, will have to meet to discuss and consider cover for this claim. So let's turn to FFO, or fixed and floating objects claims. This is another category of claims covered by P&I insurance. It relates to damages caused by a ship when it makes contact with property which is not another vessel. So in this instance, for example, any damage caused to the canal wall by that initial impact of the Ever Given to the wall when it got stuck will likely be covered by the UK P&I Club as an FFO claim. What about any damage that was suffered or caused to the canal wall after that initial contact? We've all seen photos of the diggers digging this huge hole into the side of the canal in the refloating efforts by the salvors. Will this be part of FFO? I think the Ever Given ship owners and the UK P&I Club will likely try and argue that this was undertaken by the salvors for the benefit of everybody with a property interest on board the vessel, and therefore it should form part of the GA. These will likely include the ship owner, the cargo owner, the container box owner, and probably the time charterer as the owner of the bunkers on board the vessel. So if the $3.5 billion estimate of the total value of the cargo on board the vessel is correct, then the ship owner's proportional contribution to the damages caused by salvors in their refloating efforts is likely to be less than 5%. The last type of damages likely covered by P&I is that of cargo claims. I've already discussed cargo claims in a bit of more detail in part 2 of my video, so I don't want to say too much on it again here. Just generally speaking, I think 2 types of cargo claims will likely be relevant in this case. The first is physical damage to cargo, time-sensitive cargo that is. I'm thinking agricultural products, reefer cargo, perishable cargo. And the second type of claim is claims for pure economic losses. Now, each P&I club's rule wording is slightly different on how they approach these types of claims. If you have a claim where cover is in doubt and you would like me to consider your specific case, then please do get in touch. I will gladly help out. The last type of insurance policy I would like to consider today is that of loss of hire insurance. Say your charter party terms have allowed your charterer to put the vessel off hire for the delay caused by the Ever Given grounding. Can you make a claim under your loss of hire insurance? Generally speaking, most loss of hire policy terms have a deductible of at least 14 days. This means that any delay less than 14 days will automatically be excluded. Most policy terms also exclude cover for delays caused by incidents which took place on another vessel. So for these types of delay claims, you may have to consider making a claim on other delay policies. These policies normally pay claims on the basis of a daily indemnity based on lower limits, but also lower deductibles, maybe even as low as 2 days. This brings me to the end of part 3 of my videos on the Ever Given grounding. Thank you for watching, and please remember, it is not my intention for these videos to serve as any formal legal advice. In reality, the issues I've touched on are much more complicated and dependent on underlying contract terms, which you may have with various parties. So if you would like me to consider your specific case or your specific contract in more detail, please feel free to get in touch. I look forward to hearing from you.